to another edition of Pints Up or Down, right here on The Real Deal TV. It's WrestleLogic, keeping people logical about their wrestling. I'm Paul, Chris, The Real Deal Steel, the gold standard. I want one of these.
That's why I'm wearing it, just to make you mad.
With sleeves. With sleeves.
What?
But if he's somewhere that's making me mad, that's why we got to give a shout out to the revolutionary Bill Williams, who eliminated Chris from, well, he didn't eliminate you. Technically, Coda Jacobs eliminated Chris from
But who had the upper hand
Royal.
on the one-on-one with Bill Williams?
It is true. So Chris in the one-on-one did take down good old Bill Williams, but Bill Williams had the last laugh. And he took me out, too.
Yeah,
Took me out.
you took a shot. Okay, this past Saturday, I had a show. Paul's first time managing me. He gets a little caught up in the ruckus that happened. Got knocked out by Bill Williams. Although I did get the upper hand on Bill Williams on the one-on-one portion, which got me into the Battle Royal for the U.S. title, I got eliminated by a distraction. But Paul took a punch for me. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to hire this guy on. But just to give a shout out to Bill Williams, we had a great match. I was told from everyone in the locker room and a few people after on Facebook that we had the best match of the night. I've been trained from WWA 4. He was trained by the Academy, which is Mr. Ken Anderson up in the cities, or Minneapolis for those who are watching elsewhere. That's what proper training does. When you have proper training, Paul, you go out there and you have the best match on the show. And that's what everyone's job should be. If you're the main event, we weren't even the main event, but if you're the main event or you're the first match on the card, you want to go out there and have the best match possible. You play your role, you play it well. Bill was trained well. I've been trained well because I know that WWA 4 does. Apollo Crews, Heath Slater, just some name drops there. But when you're trained properly, that's what happens. You have good matches. It flows. He was great to work with. I was happy to work with him. He's only been doing it for a year total. 6 months training, 6 months of matches. I've been doing it since 2012 with my training. So it was great to have a nice match with him. Fun having you out there with us. This is going to turn into something, I think, a little bigger in the future here.
Well, which is, while we're talking this, also don't forget that Chris is going to be making his debut in RCCW this weekend, so that's really exciting. Do you know who you're facing yet?
I was told it is Chris Black.
Ooh, that's right, Chris Black. So Chris Steele versus Chris Black.
Ooh, the gold standard versus Black.
Ooh, I like it.
All right.
I like it. Sounds good. Unfortunately, I can't be there.
But that's okay. I have a feeling
It's not okay. I want to be there so bad.
We'll figure out something how you can manage me in the long run.
All right.
It was
we'll
fun
see what
though,
happens.
wasn't it?
Yes, it was. But now it's time to rip Raw and SmackDown apart and figure out who came out on top again this week. I don't know. I think it's going to be a close one again. Raw was decent.
Raw was pretty good, yep.
Raw was pretty good. SmackDown was pretty decent too. They both actually were pretty well-rounded shows this week. But I don't know. That's where I feel like we're at now. Is like everything just feels well-rounded. I wouldn't say it's like crazy amazing, like mind-blowing.
But it's not low.
But not next week could be, because guess who's coming back? He's just a sexy boy.
Sexy boy.
So excited.
Boy.
Okay, that's enough. Anyway, moving on. Raw kicks off with Roman coming out,
Obviously.
and oh my gosh, the heat already once again. Just people just down on Roman, still down on Roman, and something I caught, which kind of made me suspect heel turn again, was as he was coming out. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but some guy went out with a fist bump, had a Roman fist like a glove on, and Roman just looks at him and goes. It just like blew him off, and I was like, whoa.
Dang.
So that's why I was like, maybe he did have a heel turn, but we found out he really didn't have a heel turn.
Nope.
But someone else may have had a heel turn this evening, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. So Roman comes out, Braun comes out, it's decided that they're gonna have a match at Hell in the Cell, and that's when Braun is doing an open cash-in, basically saying, I'm cashing in, but our match is going to be at Hell in the Cell. And the only other time I recall that happening was when RVD did it to John Cena. For the championship.
I don't even know.
At one of the last like big ECW pay-per-views back in the mid 2000s, but I feel like that he did the same thing. He's like, I'm cashing this in, but we're having a match at November to Dismember or whatever one of their big pay-per-views were. I probably have that one wrong, but I know that he was the last person to do that, where the cash-in was like it set a match. It wasn't a surprise cash-in. So interesting to see them take that turn with it again. A little bit more interesting a little later on in the evening, but we'll get to that later on. Then Dolph and Drew come out, which kind of caught me off guard, but I actually like the idea of Drew maybe being in the main title picture for the Universal title. Maybe not so much Dolph, because I really like Dolph in the IC title thing. So it's kind of like you have the Shield versus them as this kind of like trifecta fighting each other for the big championships.
It is coming well rounded with this story. We'll see where it plays out though, but
they each need one more person though, because then they could have like you could have Seth with the IC belt, you could have Roman with the Universal, and then Dean needs a tag team partner to have the tag belts with, and then I don't know. I'm just like thinking outside the box
Seth
here.
Rollins then. Seth Rollins can do it with
Can he have multiple titles?
Sure, why not?
You're right, why not? Overall, a really good segment, a good kickoff to Raw. I'm not going to drink to this per se, just because it wasn't. I only drink to segments like this if they're absolutely mind-blowing, and there wasn't anything crazy mind-blowing about this, so it was good though. It was good.
Right.
Up next, Baron versus Finn. Baron Corbin set this up. I'm
not that excited about this.
I'm sick of this feud. Finn needs Finn deserves something better.
He should be up in the main title picture there.
There's our new person to throw on the Shield. There's our fourth member of the Shield. Why not? He dresses all in black anyway, so
you can throw me in there.
And as the demon.
There you go.
He could be like the Demon Shield member, whatever. Yep. But anyway, didn't like this because I'm getting sick of this feud. This needs to be over with. We've gone through 2 pay-per-views with this now, and it's still continuing. And unless it's over a title, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's just kind of pointless.
If you're not fighting over a title and it's 2 pay-per-views in, it's dead. Move on. So not drinking to it, although of course Finn always looks good in the ring. And actually, I will admit, Baron Corbin has come a long way. He looks good in the ring now. Really good in the ring now, but still just...
The guy's essentially pulling double duty because he has to go out and cut all these promos and wrestle at the same time.
Yeah, so kudos to you, Baron. You're actually...
it's not always the easiest thing to cut a promo, especially in front of 15,000 fans or so every week.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So, and then the whole cheating at the end. Oh, I forgot that it was a no DQ, and then
it's kind of funny, but I'm getting sick of the matches.
It is if they'd done this sooner to spark this feud a little more, I would have been more interested. But now it's still dead. It maybe brought up a little bit for me, but still not enough to get excited about. Up next, Dana Brooke backstage with Titus Worldwide and being told that she has a match tonight, and originally Apollo made it seem like it was going to be a local enhancement talent, but then ends up being Sasha Banks, and she just gets squashed. I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
I mean, she looked good though at the beginning because she had the upper hand and didn't have a whole lot of ring rust. I didn't feel she still looked good in the ring, but
right. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm gonna give Pine Dep was to her. Well, first of all, we haven't seen her work on TV. She might be doing live shows, I don't know. But it was good to see her out there getting a little upper hand and actually knowing that she's still around. So pints up for me, I guess, on that. I'm just trying to help you guys out, Raw. You really suck. You said it was going to be good.
There were moments that were good. This one I didn't like though. Because I actually like Dana Brooke, and I think she's a good worker, and the fact that they bring her back just to get squashed seems kind of...
Okay, ting me down for a half there.
All right. Up next, Seth comes out, issues an open challenge. Of course, the place blows up for Seth, it always does. But then, interestingly enough, it blows up again because KO comes out, and of course, in his home turf of Canada, but then even draws the heat by saying, I'd be more excited, but it's Toronto, not Montreal, so it's kind of fun to see him draw the heat that way, even though it's they were totally all for him at first, and then they kind of came down on him. So it's, what a freaking match though. Holy
this
cow.
was pretty sweet.
I could not believe this match. The whole ending sequence was good. I mean, you had the buckle bomb, and then him bouncing right back out of it and giving Seth a super kick to the frog splash to the moonsault. I mean, it got so stinking fast paced at the end there. It was almost hard to keep up, but it was so good.
Right, and the one thing, just want to go off this buckle bomb. To me, he shouldn't be lifting up Kevin Owens. It shows that anybody can do this then, because Kevin Owens is obviously the bigger of the two.
Yeah.
Showing him up on the buckle bomb or getting him up into a power bomb situation just seems weird, not telling the story that it sounds like anybody could do it. And it should be telling the story that Kevin Owens is bigger, but it didn't. But it was still a great match.
Yeah, no, great match overall. Great work from both sides. But then, of course, the real twist was at the end because Kevin Owens said he's not leaving without a title. and he's still sitting in the ring after the commercial break, and then just utters "I quit" and leaves. Like,
confusing.
It is confusing. I did hear that it's not a shoot. It's a work. Apparently, he needed a little bit of time off, so this is kind of how they're working it in.
Well, he was about to cry.
He did. But he's a good actor though.
I'd
overall,
say,
too.
yeah.
He's really good.
Cheers to acting and the
pints
match.
Pints up for everything here. But apparently, after everything he's been through, getting thrown off the ladder, getting thrown off with the porta potty, and then getting thrown off the cage, he just kind of requests a little bit of time off to recoup, which I can't blame him. Can't blame you. So,
are you requesting time off too, Paul? Is this what the situation is from getting punched?
No.
Oh, okay.
More. Feed me more.
He wants to get hit a couple more times.
Whatever, Ryback. Whatever. B team.
And the Revival.
And the Revival.
Although next week we're going to have a title match, it says.
But that means it's going to be the B team versus the Revival.
Right, that's what it is, yeah.
And last week it was the B team individually versus each of the Revival. And then the week before that, at SummerSlam, it was the B team versus the Revival. So how many weeks are we going to keep getting this? I mean, that's the whole deal, was that they had to prove themselves, and they beat the B team, and they beat them clean, too. Like, really
It's
clean.
so weird to see a team with the titles to lose.
Do you realize this, too? That was their first loss as a tag team?
They lost individually.
They lost individually, but as a tag team, this was their first loss since they became the B team.
Dang.
Yeah, and the Revival took it. I don't know. I love the Shatter Machine. I think this is an awesome finisher. But do I drink to this? I'm stuck.
I don't, because we've already seen 3 weeks now in a row.
Yeah, now that's true. We're going to have it for 4 weeks in a row next week.
If it is.
No, I'm not drinking to it either. Sorry, guys. Great work, but no. All right. So then, of course, Elias doing his thing, and then he starts insulting Canada, and then, shockingly, Trish Stratus comes out, which she's from Canada, so it makes sense on why she was the one to come out, but she was not who I was expecting. I definitely would not expect. I heard that she has that little laugh at the beginning of her music, and I was like, at first I was like, who is this? And then I'm like, whoa, wait a second here. This is, and then all of a sudden they showed, I'm like, holy crap,
the crowd always loves it.
And they did. And then Natty comes out, and Rana and Natty both come out, and of course she's basically supporting them. And then Alicia and Alicia and Alexa come out, because it was going to be Alicia Fox versus Natalya, but then all of a sudden Mickey's back too. So here we have 3 against 3 type.
You got 2 older divas in there.
Yeah.
Which is like.
And they had a lot of history too back in the day. There was a whole obsessive fan thing between Mickey and Trish.
Well, see, that's kind of cool that they have one that's a veteran heel and one that's a veteran face, and they're trying to help out the younger talent, which I guess Natty's not the youngest talent.
Well, neither is Alicia Fox.
Right, they've been there for
so it's like you have almost 3 generations on each side, which is kind of cool. You know what? Because of that, I wasn't actually going to drink to this. I'm drinking to this whole segment now, because it was pretty cool.
I talked myself into it too, I guess.
It was pretty cool. When you really break down what they did here, it actually was pretty cool.
Makes sense.
Whether they planned it that way or not, I don't know, but that's the way I look at it. So I liked it. And then I think Natty needed a build, so I think it was good that she squashed Alicia Fox. I was okay with it. Then we go backstage and find out that the Bella Twins are going to be wrestling next week, so they're back in action.
Dang, yeah. I wasn't thinking that Brie was coming back after having.
I didn't either.
She always said that she wasn't going to.
And now she's
back.
back.
And then she's on SmackDown.
And then she's on. Yeah, she is working a lot. So
she's just a whore between the two.
Apparently, John Cena can go back and forth, I guess, since the Bellas can go back and forth too.
Right.
And then we also find out HBK, the official announcement, going to be at Raw next week, talking about the Triple H Undertaker match. And the rumors are flying that Taker is going to be there next week too and make an appearance. So.
Well, yeah, I read that he was supposed to be in the building. I didn't see the appearance spot.
Well, that's the thing, is they don't know.
Yeah.
They know he's going to be there, but to what extent they don't know yet. I'm hoping that they build this to be that HBK is going to be the ref again.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
But then, that'd be cool.
That would be a rinse and repeat. I'd be okay with.
Oh my God.
All right, so now Baron Corbin deciding to punish Bobby Lashley by sending him out against an opponent that he can't remember. That was so stupid. I'm sorry.
Lame.
And then it ends up being, oh, by the way, it's a handicap match, and it's against. Now, I was a little excited because I'm like, ooh, it could be something really cool. Not that the Ascension aren't cool. I actually really like the Ascension. I've always liked the Ascension, but for a situation like this was a poor choice.
Poor Ascension.
I just feel bad for them because
say.
they were so hot in NXT, and they were really hot when they first made it to the roster, but they've just gotten buried. I kind of like their characters because I know you don't like the cartoon characters so much, but I like them a lot. It gives me that old Demolition, Legion of Doom.
I just feel bad for the guys.
I do too.
I mean,
they're not bad workers. They look good.
Right? No. Remember when they first came in? They came in and squashed people. Now they are getting squashed 2-on-1. That's even worse.
Speaking of which, where's Heath Slater and Rhino these days? I miss
don't
them
know.
too.
House shows?
Probably. I miss them too. I need a good old-fashioned gore. I need Rhino to come back and just gore the hell out of somebody. I don't care who, just somebody. All right, not drinking to it though. No, not drinking to it. You know what that I am going to drink to though? I am drinking to the fact that HBK is going to be here next week.
Okay.
I'm just doing it because
you better do something cool.
Raw needs some help.
You need a super kick in there.
Sweet chin music, baby.
I mean, everybody does a super kick, I guess, these days, but we need the actual one.
Yep. You know, actually, I'm going to drink to this next one, too, because Dean versus Jinder, I felt like it was okay, because on paper, this looks really stupid, but when you break it down and think, okay, here you have Dean who's back, he's, like, insane, he's playing this, like, guy who's unhinged, so then put him with Jinder, who's trying to be Mr., you know, relax, so when you really start to see it, like, it's like, okay, this actually does make sense. Because at first, like I said, looking at this down here again, I'm like, why did they do this? And then I think about it, and I'm like, actually, this did work. The match was actually pretty good. You know, I razzed on Jinder for a long time, but he actually is a really good worker.
Oh, yeah.
Jinder does really good in the ring.
I don't think people saw that before. I mean, I liked his look, first of all, when he came back, because, I mean, he's ripped out of his mind. Yeah. But he's actually a good worker. But to me, his work when he does his heat is almost like Randy Orton's. It's just like he's just got like long legs. He stomps hard, or at least he makes it look hard. Yeah. And it looks devastating, all this stuff. Now, I felt I was not going to drink to this until you started saying that, hey, this is kind of an interesting segment or a situation. You got the guy that's, insane, savage, whatever you want to call it, and then the guy that's trying to goose fraba.
Exactly.
Trying to do that kind of stuff. Because I feel bad for Jinder, and he was up here because they were going to India and Saudi Arabia, so they did this, and now he's down he's not as far as the Ascension's gone, but he's going down that way. But at least you know what, he had his 15 seconds of glory, I suppose, or 15 minutes of fame, whatever you call it. I'm gonna drink to it.
I am too, and it was a good match. And Dean looked, and holy cow, though, this is the first time we've seen Dean without a shirt on now.
Oh, did you get excited?
I don't want to talk about it.
Maybe they'll make a Dean Ambrose shirt with just his chest and stomach on it,
and
he'll buy it.
Well, no, because remember, before he came back, he just wrestled in the wife beater, had a little bit of a belly, you know.
It's called trash bag wrestler.
You know, he did. He looked like a Brooklyn Brawler, but without the shredded outfit, you know. But now, like, he took the shirt off, I was like, holy cow. He's like, and he's not like shredded, but he's in really good shape. Like, he's like, he doesn't have the tummy anymore, and his arms are really well built.
His traps are the biggest thing I saw.
Yeah, no.
But he's also walking around with.
So, like, you do?
I don't do that.
No, I know, I'm just kidding. All right, main event of the night.
Main event!
Dolph and Drew versus Braun and Roman, which kind of a weird little mix, you know?
Nah, you saw this coming from the get.
Oh, it's true, but...
It's true, it's damn true.
And, you know, Dolph and Drew looked really good, because, I mean, basically, Braun wasn't even in the match.
Yeah, essentially it was. Like, just like me at Champions.
Yeah, exactly. So it looked pretty good, you know, and everyone worked really well, and then the hot tag to Braun, and Braun doesn't get in the ring. He just leaves him. And so, here's the deal. This is like the biggest thing blowing up on social media with wrestling right now. Everyone's just like, oh, they turned Braun heel. I don't think they actually did turn him heel. I think basically what they did is they made Braun look smart to me. They made it look, okay, Braun got just smoked by the Shield, 3 guys last week. Right. Braun needs allies right now to have against them. So even though Drew and Dolph are heels, I think Braun isn't looking at it as like this. This is not a heel turn. This is, I need people to watch my back too.
Well, okay, here's maybe where it looked like he did a heel turn. Is when at the end when they all held up their hands together, it seemed like they were in alliance. I don't think Braun really needed to do that. He could have just stood there and looked at the Shield like, hey, you're a mess, and I got these 2 guys.
Left, yeah.
Probably didn't need the whole hands up, and all that. But you know what I feel like. This wasn't supposed to happen, and now it has happened, and it's working. I feel like that's what's happened with this. Yeah. Also oh, well, let's do the Shield out there. That'll work. And it is starting to work. But now people don't know who to cheer for.
Yeah, I'm just
They're
going to cheer for Braun.
They're like, we hate Roman. Well, wait, the Shield. And there's Braun. And even Dolph, he doesn't get a reaction. Like, people aren't booing Dolph by any means. They boo Drew, but they don't boo Dolph. That's the one thing.
Oh, it's just people are starting to like Dolph again because he actually has a character again.
Why wouldn't you like him?
Oh, God, I love Dolph.
Exactly.
Dolph, you're the man.
I'll drink to that last segment because, you know what? I'm kind of happy.
Confusing. A little
But
confusing.
I'm happy
but it was
about the
good.
confusion.
Yeah, I am too. All right.
All right.
Raw with 5.5 pints up today, which is better than last week. We only had 4 last week. So.
Okay, to be honest, I didn't watch SmackDown, so you know what? I have hope and faith for my Raw brand.
It was a decent show, though.
I'll be the judge of that.
All right. I love how he judges it off of what I say. Like,
well, you watch it.
That's true. I love SmackDown. Anyway,
Later.
so 5.5 pints up for Raw, and how many does SmackDown get?
3 free drinks.
What he said. Anyway, moving on. This opening segment, I know I don't typically drink to segments, but I'm drinking to this one because it was awesome.
Okay.
New Day comes out to celebrate, and they're talking about, we're not the
sorry.
3-time, we're not the 4-time, we're the can you dig it, sucker? Booker T,
cool.
King Booker comes out and basically christens them okay to be part of the 5-time club. They all do the, what's the move called that they do? The spinneroonie. They all take turns.
Just he does it.
No, he did it, and then he told Xavier to do it. Xavier could do it.
I thought you were talking about who originated it.
No, he did it first, but then the whole bit at the end where he did it, and then Xavier did it pretty well. Kofi did it, and then Big E was too big to do it, so they had to help him spin around.
That's how you do it.
The whole bit, though, was really good. It was great to see Booker in that again, because I like seeing him on the panels and stuff like that, but I mean, he was so charismatic in the ring, whether he was a face, whether he was heel, whether he was King Booker.
The only thing that would make this better is if he came out as Harlem Heat. That would be so
you wanted Stevie Ray to come
No,
out?
no, just him come out. Didn't he have like fire pants on back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
That would be so much better. The King Booker. King Booker.
I actually liked it as King Booker. I liked it. I'm drinking to it, so.
I'll drink to it because it's cool, but
Yeah.
I was just saying how it could have been better. That's all I was saying. That would have been awesome.
I feel like there's a lot of nostalgia tripping going on lately on WWE.
I gotta get the fans back.
Probably true.
Losing
Probably true. Up next, another great portion of SmackDown, as a matter of fact.
Tell me what it was,
A tag triple threat.
Okay, who?
So it was Primo and whoever his tag team partner was, who we haven't seen in like eons.
Yeah.
Him and his, I think they're brothers. I feel bad that I can't remember the other guy's name. And I'm gonna
Primo
pop.
and
It's
Epico?
right. Yes. No, isn't it Primo Epico? Isn't that his name, or is it and Epico? I'm putting it right here, right now, since I can't remember. I'm gonna put it in text right there because that's the only way I'm gonna remember how to, But anyway, so it's right there. That's who it was.
Right there.
And I feel bad. And there's probably a picture of them right here, and funny text saying, "Paul, you're an idiot," because that's what our editor does, which is funny because our editor's me. But anyway, moving on.
What?
But holy crap! Like, I forgot how good they were in the ring. Because they actually dominated a good chunk of the match over Cesaro, and it was really good because it was them versus the Bar versus the Club.
Okay.
So, and very good match. The work was incredible. Look, and I love the finish because they really made you believe that the Club was going to win. Because are you familiar with what's actually going on here?
Nope.
There's going to be a triple threat this week. There's going to be a triple threat next week. Then those two teams are going to face off, and whoever wins that will face the New Day at Hell in a Cell for the tag team
In a cell or
championships.
just a tag match?
I think it's just a tag match.
God, you know it'd be really cool if they were in a cell though.
Oh yeah, that Usos New Day one from last year was bonkers.
Yeah.
So good.
All right, okay, I'll drink to the.
It was good. No, it was good. The Bar comes out on top, which I was okay with. I wanted them. I mean, nothing against. Primo and Epico looked great. Like, I don't understand why they're not on TV more often. I think they should be because they looked fantastic. The Club always looks good. I was pushing for. I really wanted the Club to win, but I'm okay with the Bar winning too because they're really good. Two really talented guys, and I like the finish. They did a sneaky tag, so they didn't know who was legal, but so it was well done. It was well done. So good stuff.
All right?
That puts SmackDown
The rest of the SmackDown better really suck.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It's actually pretty decent. So Rusev Day, all three of them working together again backstage and pushing for Paige to make Aiden and Rusev be able to be a tag team again and be in this tournament. So it's now going for the triple threat next week will be Rusev Day versus the Usos versus Sanity. And it's going to be another one where I'm gonna be rooting for Rusev Day. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Usos are good, but they've had their time in the sun. So to me, it needs to be Rusev Day or Sanity. I think it's one of their turns. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out next week. I think so too. I think they're gonna give them a push that way again. So, but we'll see.
All right.
So I'm not gonna drink to it. Good segment though. Looking forward to the match next week. Jeff Hardy comes out and, without saying it, basically told us that he was Brother Nero. Basically said that he has been broken. He is not who he once was. Like without saying I am Brother Nero, he basically said I'm Brother Nero right now. Like, God, I you know, for the longest time I feel like
Didn't
Jeff.
we already know this is Brother Nero?
Well, kind of, but he still was very positive. You know what I mean? He was very positive. Now he's like kind of past that breaking point. Like basically Randy Orton awoke at something in him, and that's why he like went all out and gave him the swanton through the table last week. Just was on fire on the mic though. And then Randy comes out to rebuttal, if you will.
Yeah.
He's really good on a mic too. But then we find out
Jeff Hardy's not.
Well, Jeff Hardy was too. They were both. I thought Jeff was great on the mic for this segment, personally. So
I don't know, his stuff sounds forced.
I don't think so. This one sounded really good to me. This sounded like when him and Matt were in TNA and really just kind of being let do their own thing. See, when it's scripted, that's when I feel like Jeff
I felt like
struggles.
it sounded scripted, but that's just me.
I didn't think so. I thought it sounded great. But then we find out it's going to be Jeff and RKO in a cell.
That'd be good.
At Hell in a Cell. So I'm really looking forward to that match. I'm not going to drink to it, though. No, I'm not going to drink to it.
I'm waiting to see what happens.
I'm very close to drink to it, but I'm not going to drink to it.
All right. So I've still got Hope and Raw.
No, I'm already going to tie it up. No, even if I only drink for the rest of this, it's still going to put them ahead. I can already tell you that. So there's already 2 more spots.
He's already rigged this. He's already rigged it.
Sorry, I didn't rig it. There was another spot I forgot about in there, okay? So leave me alone. Anyway, throwaway match next. I feel bad saying that, but it just was. I don't understand. I don't understand this feud between the Iconics and Naomi. A, where did it come from? B,
why is it even there?
Well, where did it come from?
You accept that, but what's
But
the
seriously, like, how did this start? There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Does Naomi have anyone in her corner?
No.
And isn't the Iconics like 2 or 3 people?
It's 2, yeah.
So, yeah, where's it?
Exactly.
It would make sense if she
well,
was still with the
thing.
other girl. What was her name? The Funkadactyl girl. What was the other girl that was with Naomi?
As long I don't ever
Naomi is a
remember.
black girl, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't remember her being with anyone else.
Yeah, well, remember the Funkadactyls, the girls that came out?
Oh, were they the ones that were with What's His Nuts?
With Brodus Clay.
Yeah.
Who was the other girl's name? I forget.
I don't remember.
Well, anyways, if those 2 were still together, that would make the most sense.
I guess, but
she was on like the first Total Divas season, or maybe even 2. Yeah, I don't know where she's at.
Well, I just feel bad because I feel like the Iconics have really got something. And so Peyton Royce beat Naomi last week, and now Billie Kay beat her this week.
So, yeah. Okay,
so now
we can move on.
I'm hoping that means we're moving on.
I like Naomi. She was good right now.
See, I like the Iconics. I like Peyton Royce. Nothing against Billie Kay. I just feel like Peyton Royce is a much better worker, and I think she's more developed as a character. I think she's better around it. Billie, I don't know. There's just something weird about her that I'm not a big fan of. But anyway,
all right.
Moving on. Bree and Daniel Bryan come out.
Okay.
And basically ripping down on The Miz and the fact they're having a match coming up, which looking forward to that very much. I think that's going to be fun. Next tag is going to be fun.
See, this storyline, this is how storylines are supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
This makes so much sense.
It.
And you can keep this going for a while, too, because there's actually like real heat. And I don't know if you watch Photo Shoot on the WWE Network.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you see the Daniel Bryan or the Miz one?
I did.
Yeah, so that was like real tension there. Not that it was tension against Daniel Bryan, it didn't sound like. It sounded like it was just he didn't have anything to do that day and he was very upset about it because he was the Intercontinental Champion and he was being told that he wrestles like a coward, which I don't get where Daniel Bryan came from on that because I would have to disagree. He's like Miz says, he's there every single week. And he wants to do something every single week. You know, if I were a wrestler up there, I'd maybe say, oh, you know what, I have a night off. okay, at least I don't have to go through pain that night for a while. But I would, especially
You
if
would
it's
anyway.
IC.
Yeah.
But this is how you make feuds, and this is an awesome feud because now you have the ladies involved.
Yep.
And you can keep going. Maybe their kids are going to be involved eventually, right?
Yeah. No, because who they involved was Andrade Cien Almas and Selena Vega, which.
But why?
Because it's another male-female team. Well, actually, basically what it is Cien Almas says, I want to beat all the best in this business. So it makes sense because Daniel Bryan has always been looked at one of the best in the business. And what I love about this is that on SmackDown, I feel like everything they do, with the exception of the Naomi Peyton Rice thing, but we're not talking about that anymore, everything kind of is explained. Like, I feel like they explain everything a lot better on SmackDown, like why they're doing this. Which is strange because they have less time. Right. So they don't have as much time to do all that. So it's like, here's Raw that seems really jumbled, where they actually have the time to explain everything and they don't. And then you have SmackDown that everything kind of makes sense.
Silly writers.
Because, I mean, Selena came out and blatantly said that. Like, Cien Almas has already taken AJ to the limit. He's already, destroyed Rusev. And now he wants the next best thing that's available in SmackDown, and that's Daniel Bryan. So see, it makes sense. Okay. It's Cien Almas saying, I'm taking down all the best people to prove that I deserve to be in the title scene. So, I mean, it makes sense. And then they had a match, and it was, I turned to my wife and I said, how is Cien Almas still alive? The chops were terrible, but then he took some tumbles. He took that one where he flew over the top rope, came down on his neck on the apron before going down to the floor.
I didn't see that one.
That one looked bad.
Okay,
this was a great match, and then the interference with the Miz and Maurice at the end to keep continuing that feud.
Oh yeah,
it was so good, so good. I love this whole portion.
That was a good one. Okay,
it was good stuff. Charlotte just had a promo backstage saying that she doesn't care that they were once friends, that, Becky doesn't matter, and especially that night because she's focusing on Carmella. Doing the face thing like I don't care, I'm focusing on what's ahead of me now sort of thing. So, she's the best, so she's not going to think about that. So whatever. Right. Charlotte, you're still amazing.
Charlotte's going to get just as many women's titles as her dad did.
She's on the way. What is she, a 7-time women's champion already?
It's just a matter of time. That's
5 or 7. It's an odd number. I remember that. Then another promo with AJ and Joe, and I'm not going to lie, I completely missed this entire segment, so I don't know what happened here. Something happened because he went flying backstage chasing after Joe. So I feel bad. No, we're not going to look it up. I'm just going to fully admit I missed this bit, okay? I had to go get my kids. I missed this bit. So I'm obviously not going to drink to it, but apparently Joe pissed off AJ again. And it's going to be Joe versus AJ at Hell in a Cell. That's what I know.
Oh, I know. I think he called AJ's wife and said, I'm going to send daddy home or whatever it was. Something like along the lines of that. I didn't see it either. I saw a segment on Facebook, and that's all I saw.
Yeah, so.
And then I wasn't able to watch Raw or SmackDown.
So Pints Up or Pints Down fans, I'm sorry that I did not do my homework here.
SmackDown still beat us.
I know, but there's still one more. There's the other match that I'm drinking to. It's not on there because my phone died. So, and then it had some issues, but I still remember the match because it was phenomenal, even though it didn't have AJ. Moving on. So we had Charlotte versus Carmella.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry.
For the main event, and they gave him like 15, 20 minutes. And it was 15, 20 minutes of really, really good women's division wrestling. Very good. Ladies proved that they deserve to be where they're at. They proved that they deserve to be in the title scene.
Oh, God, you're talking me into it.
It was just a great match, and it ended the way it should. Charlotte came out on top.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to hand it to Carmella. I mean, yes, she is a diva in a women's world, but she held her own in the match. She looked good.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Well, it's still, what Carmella reminds me of is she reminds me of Alexa Bliss on Raw. It's like they should be divas, but they're holding their own with the women, if that's what you want to call
them. They're not the best workers,
like,
but they can still.
Yeah, because like Ronda Rousey, you don't think of her as a diva. Natalia, you don't really think of her as a diva. But those are the top of the or even what's the big girl's name?
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax.
Yep.
You don't think of them as divas. I don't know. Anyways, you don't think of them as divas, you think of them as women's wrestlers. But but with Carmella and with Alexa Bliss, they hold their own.
Yep, they really do.
Whether it's on the mic or whether it's in the ring, they're doing a good job. So
Alexa Bliss is probably one of the best mic workers that WWE has, men's or women's division. She is so good on a mic. And then I'm not quite drinking yet because we have the last bit. Becky attacking Charlotte afterwards. And then looking down on her, and I know I don't like to swear much on this channel, but when she said, "I'm coming for my women's title, bitch," I was just like, whoo! And then Becky just became so much hotter to me.
And this became more personal and more aggressive.
Yep. So pipe up. Good stuff. So there you have it, SmackDown coming out on top again, 8 pints up to Raw's 5.5. I know you're getting sad, but you have to admit that as far as a Mr. Story Horror here, there's better storytelling going on right now on SmackDown.
Yeah,
everything is much tighter, it's much more, it makes more sense. It just does.
Yep.
Except for Sanity. Why are they not pushing Sanity?
Oh well.
Anyway, moving on. Anyway, moment of the week, Chris.
Moment of the week will be the question of whether, well, I was going to be KO because until you told me, you said this is a work. I'm going to go with the end segment of Raw because I'm kind of interested to see where we're going with this Shield and Drew, Dolph, and Braun Strowman. I'm interested to see where that goes. It's just, I guess it's just an interest. Okay. It was almost going to be The Miz and Daniel Bryan, that whole thing. And maybe that's next week. I don't know.
Okay. So that's your moment?
That's my moment.
Well, my moment is the Miz, Daniel Bryan, Cien Almas, like, cluster, I guess. I mean, it was a match. It was a promo. It was an interference. That whole thing, I love how they're bringing in other people to help continue this story, but in a way that makes sense. Yeah. Because I feel that they do this sometimes. They'll bring someone else in and just kind of, like you said before, like, why? Why are they getting involved? But in this case, it does, because Cien Almas wants to take down the best of the best. So him being there, it just worked. And the fact that it was him and a female, so it's kind of that same demographic.
These are the two best storylines going on right now.
No, they really are. So my moment of the week was that whole segment. Well done. SmackDown. Everything's, yes.
Awesome.
Yep, so good stuff. Once again, another edition of Pints Up or Down right here on The Real Deal TV, keeping people logical about their wrestling. And Chris, you've got your RCCW debut.
Hey, you know, I got my RCCW.
Three RCCW bookings this month.
Dang.
Busy man.
I guess my career's turning back around. All right, so this Sunday, on the day before Labor Day, I'll be making my debut at RCCW in Onalaska, Wisconsin. I'll also be September 14th. I'm not sure what they have me doing. It's not like a battle royal. Who knows? And then September 22nd, big show down here in Island City Brew. That's going to be interesting. RCCW's coming to my hometown. That's my hometown.
So RCCW making their Winona debut.
That's right. Making their Chris Steele debut, right? But anyways, if you want to book me, please book me at chrisjacobson18@yahoo.com. Hit me up on Instagram on chrissteele25, or you can hit me up on Facebook at The Real Deal Chris Steele. And Saul, you could maybe find him managing me sometime. Come to a
someday.
show.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if Saul sees anything in this.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. But once again, make sure you like the video, you share the video, subscribe to the YouTube page. It really helps us out and helps spread the word on getting people logical about their wrestling. Once again, quick shout out, Bill Williams. Thank you again for the amazing deal on the t-shirt. Love it, by the way. It's got a very Rusev look to it. So, Revolution. I don't know if that's the way you say it. But tune in next week, another edition of Pints Up or Down. Plus, don't forget to keep an eye out for I'm Spitting. Plus, don't forget to keep your eye out for Raw Light with Chris and SmackDown Light for that quick snippet of what happened on Raw and SmackDown to keep you caught up. We'll see you next week with another edition of Pints Up or Down. Ah!